is an honor to have Miss Liew here with us this afternoon, gracing this ceremony. Please join us in inviting her on stage to deliver her speech. Miss Liew, please.
Mrs. Goh Chok Tong, Patron, Dyslexia Association of Singapore, Mr. Eric Lee, Chairman, and members of the DAS Executive Committee, staff and students of DAS, parents and family members. First, I'd like to congratulate all the graduates and the prize winners today for attaining new milestones. And we are here to celebrate all your achievements. For the past 3 decades, DAS has supported students with dyslexia and, more importantly, I think, helped our society see dyslexia in a new light. As some of you, and in fact one of you has cheekily put it, not wrong too, dyslexia is not a disability, but it is your superpower. And we just have to find the switch. The DAS main literacy program, with the support of MOE, has helped many students with dyslexia realize their potential. And today we will see 227 of you graduate from the DAS program. We recognize the efforts of these students, their families, and DAS in keeping the learning spirit going. I speak to students and parents. As an educator, I do understand how you might feel frustrated with learning and perhaps sometimes even lonely. It will take time, it will take patience and lots of perseverance. I'm not going to mince words here, but you can find success. You can contribute your value to the community, and you can find happiness. With about 5% in each cohort reported to have dyslexia in Singapore, you have fine company in the journey that you're going through. And you have strong partners in DAS, MOE, and your schools. Let me share with you stories of 2 persons who have walked the road a little ahead of you, and they didn't have DAS with them. Now, Richard, as a child, was very curious with vivid imagination, and he would dismantle appliances and toys to figure out how they worked, even though he was punished for spoiling them. At school, he had problems with words, texts, multiplication tables, and names. And when in Polytechnic, he still found copying information from the board challenging, copying letter by letter instead of by phrases. And even the neighbors said discouraging things about him having a bleak future. But instead of giving up, Richard was spurred to work harder. 50 years ago, the education system focused more on rote learning rather than higher order thinking today. He compensated by being more systematic and more resourceful. He figured out that he was a visual learner, so thinking and learning in images more than in words. So he drew pictures to illustrate what he wanted to show, and he used mind maps. And in utilizing his visualization skills so frequently, he became really good at thinking multidimensionally, which is important in engineering, as it helps in designing, troubleshooting, and creating new ideas. And so knowing his strengths and where his creativity would be valued, wanting to contribute to Singapore's development and improving lives, he chose to be a defense engineer. So Richard was motivated to be the best because he knows he plays an important role in maintaining Singapore's peace, stability, sovereignty. So he joined, then it was called Singapore Automotive Engineering. And he started from the bottom, engineering assistant. That was 1978. Some of you not born yet. He worked his way up to become Chief Technology Officer of ST Kinetics. That's the new name of Singapore Automotive Engineering. And he's also the president of the Institution of Engineers in Singapore. And that institution develops and strengthens the pool of engineers. So what I learned from the story of Dr. Richard Kwok is that dyslexics may learn differently, but they have other strengths. And if you hone those strengths, you can capitalize on them to go far. The story does not end because Richard's son has been diagnosed with dyslexia. And because of the similarity with his own difficulties, Richard now realizes what he had all along was dyslexia. But you're going to tell me, I have no interest in engineering. So maybe Jenny's story might be an inspiration to you then. 40 plus years ago in school, Jenny, very exuberant personality, she became very quiet in school, very low profile, because so that nobody will call on her to read because it was embarrassing. She can't read aloud. So she hated school, very traumatized by it. Jenny failed PSLE twice, and so she decided to go and apprentice with her aunt because she was interested in hairdressing. She dropped out of night classes to take PSLE again because she wanted to qualify for IT because it was just too hard. But Jenny was determined to upgrade herself, so she saved up enough money and she wanted to take this 3-month hairdressing certificate course all the way in London. She was then only 22 years old and mother of one, and she had to leave her baby daughter behind with her family. During the course, she persevered. And there was a course that had her working with hair dyes, and she couldn't spell the colors properly, so she often mixed them up. She overcame it by painstakingly dyeing individual strands of the hair correctly, labeling them carefully, and then pasting them on the paper. So eventually, she came back. She succeeded in finding work in a hair salon with her skills and worked as a hairdresser for 25 years. But she had to stop work to take care of her 3 children as they were all diagnosed with dyslexia and they had difficulties with their schoolwork. So what did she do? Eventually, she still had to supplement the family income and she took a night job. No, she still had a lot of grit. She took a night job as a cleaner at Changi Airport. And because she was so responsible, she was soon promoted to be supervisor. Then later, she went to a waste management company, and her boss realized her difficulties with the administrative tasks. So very kind, he helped her by summarizing all the large chunks of information into bite size. Okay, so most important, you must have a good boss also. Jenny saw a psychologist to overcome her deep-seated self-doubts. Okay, we all understand that. And she was finally at an adult, diagnosed with very severe dyslexia. She eventually understood there was nothing fundamentally wrong with her. It's just that she was wired differently. So armed with this newfound self-belief and recognized for her capabilities, her boss invited her to start a recycling business and asked her to be the business partner. So Jenny King is now an entrepreneur and co-founder of Trust Recycling, playing an important role in environmental sustainability. So Richard and Jenny are inspirations to all of us for their grit and positive attitude to take care of their families as well as contribute to society with their capabilities, overcoming their difficulties along the way. Among us, we have also many exemplary students, and I'm sure they're en route to become successful in their own right in future. I'll just highlight 2 of them. Noor Shazwan bin Muhammad Zulkarnain is a DAS alumnus currently studying interior design in Singapore Polytechnic. Since he graduated in 2019, he has remained active and he was involved in many fundraising and awareness-raising activities organized by DAS. In 2020, Shazwan was part of the City YMCA Youth for Causes project, and his various art designs were incorporated into the merchandise that was sold to the public to raise funds for DAS. Shazwan also contributed his art pieces for various painting for auction events, and his art pieces helped to raise funds at events such as the UOB Chinese New Year Dinner, DAS Charity Golf Dinner 2021, and the recent DAS Gala Dinner. So last year, Shazwan was also featured in the DAS video, You Should Know I Have Dyslexia, which helped to raise awareness about dyslexia among institutes of higher learning. Because they're so successful, they're getting into our institutes of higher learning too. And through the funds raised from his art pieces and awareness raised about dyslexia, Shazwan's contributions have brought about tremendous support for low-income families to access DAS services. So young as he may be, he is indeed a well-deserving recipient of the Young Achiever Award. Next, we have Anik. Anik is a DAS student. Muhammad Anik Irfan bin Abdul Malik. He's currently studying at Crest Secondary School. He is vice captain of the school's badminton CCA. And Anik has demonstrated leadership qualities and has led his team to greater heights. In 2021, Anik emerged as top 10% of his school and received the EduSafe Merit Award for his academic achievement. On top of his school achievements, Anik's storybook was also chosen by the school to be published for preschool children. So currently, 2 of Anik's artworks are on public display, one in Crest Secondary School's handbook and the other in North Point City. So you can go there and take a look. So in recognition of his personal qualities and well-rounded achievements, Anik has been conferred the Student Achievement Award for 2022. Behind each success story is a community of care and support. To the staff of DAS, I met some of you last Monday. Thank you for doing your best for the students. Your genuine care and unwavering support have provided a safe and nurturing environment for the students to grow and flourish. To parents and family members, on top of your own commitments and challenges, you also encouraged and cared for your children, your loved ones. I thank you for your selfless support and sacrifices. The achievements we celebrate today would not have been possible without your partnership. Students with dyslexia are now increasingly being better supported at schools. We have learning support programs from primary 1, and we have the school-based dyslexia remediation program. And they are in every single one of our primary schools, so that students don't have to travel to get the support that they need. Some educators in these schools are specially trained to support students with dyslexia. And the rest of the teachers in the school support by adopting some of these strategies to reinforce their learning in the classroom, in the other subject areas. And these programs have good outcomes. We have evaluated them. And we are implementing the improved versions of them next few years. Our desire is to use the latest research with good evidence to provide effective interventions for our students so that they can learn better. Finally, to the graduating students, as you look back on how far you have come, I'm sure the challenges you had to overcome made this achievement that you have even more meaningful. I want to ask the graduating batch, I don't know whether they're still here or they've been herded out. Are they here? Can I ask them to take a stand, as well as, very important, the DAS educational therapists. The therapists, take a stand, and if we can have some lights so that we can acknowledge all their good work. Can we have the students and the educational therapists? Well done, students. Really, really, really well done. Thank you. Tremendous hard work. You have persevered, and we want to honor you. Well done. Thank you. Take a seat. And we wish you, I wish you all the best for your future. It is bright. Thank you.